Let's look at this simple numerical question on the relative supply curve. There are two countries, home and foreign, and the unit labor requirements to produce cheese and wine are given to you, right? So how many hours of labor are required to produce a unit of cheese in home? How many hours of labor are required to produce a unit of wine in home, and so on for the foreign? So wherever is this asterisk sign is used, that is for the foreign country. L is equal to 100, L star is equal to 200, right? L is equal to 100 and L star is equal to 200. So the first question is that which country has an absolute advantage in cheese and wine? So you will look at which country has a lower unit labor requirement. So you look at cheese, home has a lower unit labor requirement. You look at wine, again, home has the a lower unit labor requirement. So home has the absolute advantage in both cheese and wine, right? Please write this. So since home has lower unit labor requirements, right, for both goods, it has an absolute advantage in production of both cheese and wine. In production of both cheese and wine, right? But when you look at the comparative advantage, I mean, you will have to look at the opportunity cost, right? You will have to look at the opportunity cost. So let me just write the opportunity cost table as well. So let me just first of all think of in this way also that suppose there is what do you call a home country. So there is cheese here. There is wine here. There is home country here. And there is foreign country here. Home country has total of 100 hours of labor as the endowment. And it is using 5 hours of labor to produce a unit of cheese. So with 100 hours, if it uses its entire labor hours for the cheese production, it can actually produce 20 units of cheese, right? Or home country would be using 2 hours of labor to produce 2 units of cheese. Sorry, 2 hours of labor to produce a unit of cheese. So with 100 hours of labor, it can actually produce 50 units of wine. Fair enough. Okay. Foreign country is using 6 hours of labor to produce a unit of cheese. It has 200 hours of labor as an endowment. So it can actually produce 200 upon 6 units of cheese or 100 upon 3 units of cheese. So it is or here. So if it is using, because I mean, this is useful for me when I'll be drawing the PPF. Similarly, foreign country is using 6 hours of labor to produce a unit of wine. So with 200 hours of labor, it can produce 200 upon 6 units of wine or 100 upon 3 units of wine. Or 100 upon 3 units of wine. Fair enough. Right. So that's the total feasible production. Okay. Now let me just write what is ALC by ALW. That is going to be 5 by 2. Right. ALC star by ALW star. That will be 1. Right. So this is 2.5. This is 1. So this is the opportunity cost of cheese in terms of wine in the home country. This is the opportunity cost of cheese in terms of wine in the foreign country. So in the foreign country, the opportunity cost of cheese in terms of wine is lower. So the opportunity cost of cheese in the foreign country is lower. So foreign country has a comparative advantage in cheese. Foreign country has a comparative advantage in cheese. Fair enough. ALC star. Sorry. Now, let me just also write it like this. ALW upon ALC. ALW upon ALC, that is 2.5. 2 upon 5. So this is what? This is for the home country. This is the opportunity cost of wine in terms of cheese in the home country. ALW star upon ALC star, that is 1 in the foreign country. That is 1 in the foreign country. So the opportunity cost of wine is lower in the home country. So home country has a comparative advantage in wine. So you can write foreign has comparative advantage in wine. Foreign has comparative advantage in cheese, and home has comparative advantage in wine. And home has comparative advantage in wine, right? Now, you can draw the PPF also. You've just calculated this. So you have QC, you have QW. So if all resources are put in cheese production, we can produce 20 units of cheese, right? And if all resources are used in the wine production, we can produce 50 units of wine, right? So what is the slope? Is minus 50 upon 20, which is minus 5/2. And if you want to write this in the absolute terms, then it is 5/2. So if you want to write it like the modulus of slope, that will be 5/2. This is about the home country. Okay. How do you write the, what do you call, the PPF for foreign country? PPF for foreign country. So it is what? If all resources are used for cheese, it is 100/3. If all resources are used for wine, it is again 100/3. Slope is 1. Modulus of slope is 100/3. 100/3. Fair enough. Okay. Now, what will be the relative? Then the question which arises is calculate the relative price of cheese in terms of wine. Calculate the relative price of cheese in terms of wine. So first of all, you need to understand this, that the consumption, in case if there is no trade, we're talking about autarky, there is no trade which is happening. So in case if there is no trade, then the consumption possibilities are restricted by the production possibility. So what you can produce, only that you can consume, right? That in the absence of trade, in the absence of trade, a country's consumption possibilities are the same as its production possibilities. Are the same as its production possibilities, right? So if we are going to assume that the prices are positive, which they will be positive, right? And we are not going to assume that anything is free, then in that case, the slope of the PPF, that will be what the relative price is. So in autarky. So if we assume there is a positive demand for both the goods, so if we assume that there are positive demand for both the goods in autarky, so the relative prices will be given by the opportunity cost. Will be given by the opportunity cost. So basically, you mean this, that PC by PW is going to be equal to the opportunity cost of cheese in terms of wine in the home country, which is 5 by 2, right? And PC star by PW star, which is the opportunity cost of cheese in terms of wine in the foreign country, that is given by 1. That is given by 1. Now comes this, that suppose both the countries, they open up for trade. Graph the relative world supply of cheese to wine in response to its relative world price of cheese. Fair enough. Well, you have to see the earlier recording. If you have not seen that, I would urge you to see the recording of the your relative world supply. What is this? QC plus QW star, sorry, QC plus QC star upon QW plus QW star. And here you have PC by PW. Here you have EC star by AW star equals to 1. And here you have AC by AW equals to 5 by 2. You remember we did the cases. We did 5 cases there. PC by PW can be less than even this. So in this case, what is happening is that your AC star by AW star is less than AC by AW, right? It is less than AC by AW. So what we can do is basically this, that is, so in the first case, case 1, if PC by PW is less than AC, is less than AC star by AW star, then home country is not going to produce, for foreign countries is not going to produce cheese because the relative price of cheese is less than the opportunity cost. It will be producing all wine. Similarly, home country will also not, when PC by PW is less than 1, then it is definitely less than 2.5 also. So you are at this point here. This point. So I'm not going to write this, all of that thing again, which we have already done. So this is, in the earlier recording, we have already done this. So you need to see this. Yeah. PC by PW less than EC star by AW star. So home is also specializing in wine, and foreign is also specializing in wine. So both of them are going to produce wine only. Nobody is going to produce cheese. Case 2. If PC by PW is equal to AC star by AW star, but less than AC by AW. So foreign would be indifferent between producing cheese and wine. It can produce cheese, it can produce wine, it can produce both. Right? So foreign, as far as foreign country is concerned, it is indifferent between producing cheese and wine. And PC by PW less than AC by EW, that is, the relative price of cheese is less than the opportunity cost of cheese in the home country. Home country is still going to produce all of wine. Right? So home country will say, I will not be producing cheese. But this guy is indifferent between producing cheese or wine. So what will happen if foreign country is producing, even here when it is indifferent, if it is producing only wine, then foreign country is sitting at A. But this can also happen that foreign country might say at this particular point that I will be producing all of cheese only in this particular case. So foreign country could be saying, so home country is only producing QW. And foreign country here at this point says, I'll be producing all of cheese. That is QC star by QW. So this is point B. This is exactly same as what you did in the last class. Okay. Case 3. Case 3 would be that PC by PW is less than 5 by 2 and greater than 1. So if PC by PW is greater than 1, this 1 is what? EC star by AW star. This 5 by 2 is what? AC by AW. So you are saying that PC by PW, your relative price of cheese is more than the opportunity cost of cheese. So now foreign country is going to say, I will be producing all cheese. Foreign country will say, I'll produce all cheese, QC star. But PC by PW is still less than all of, PC by PW is still less than the opportunity cost of cheese in the home country. Home country is still going to say, it is not profitable for me to produce cheese. I will be producing all wine. Right? So in this case, it is going to be like this. In this case, it is going to be like this. Yeah. Then case 4. PC by PW is equal to AC by AW. Now, when it is equal to AC by AW, that is, it means it is naturally greater than AC star by AW star. is naturally greater than AC star by W star. Now, here, home country becomes indifferent between producing cheese or wine. Home country becomes indifferent between cheese or wine. And foreign country will say, since the relative price of cheese is more than the opportunity cost of cheese, I will be producing all of cheese. Right? So in that case, in case if, how should I say this? Home country, let's say, is sitting, let's say at this point, C. Is sitting at C. So don't think that C, okay, I won't use C, I'll use D, so that you don't get confused. So your home country, if it is sitting at D, then home country is saying, fine, I'm going to produce all wine, right? And foreign country is definitely producing all of cheese. Fair enough. But this is also possible that home country will also start saying that I can also produce all of cheese. No, I can also produce all of cheese. So if home country specializes in cheese production, home country specializes in cheese production. So what will that be? I think I have written this ulta. Just wait. So you have the home country. It is indifferent between producing all cheese and this. So at point B, home country is producing all wine, let's say, right? Home country is producing all wine. So foreign country is still producing all cheese. So it is like this. But if home country produces cheese, all cheese, then the relative supply would be QC plus QC star upon W. Because now, upon 0. Because now home country is not producing anything of wine. So in that case, this will be infinity. This will be infinity like this. And then case 5, we should write that. PC by PW greater than AC star by W star. Then both countries will be specializing only in cheese production. Because if PC by PW is greater than AC star by W star, it has to be greater than AC by AW also. So both produce cheese. Both produce cheese. This happens. Both produce cheese. So this becomes a relative supply curve. So if you see the earlier recording, we have done this in detail also. That is, this is going to be the way that the relative supply curve is going to be drawn. Okay. Suppose the world relative demand for cheese is given by this, right? So, and graph the relative demand curve, calculate the relative price PC by PW of cheese in the world trade equilibrium. So how do we write this? How do we write this? That is, so we write it. Can I write this in what way? I'm writing QC by this. I'm writing as QC by QW and QCW and QWW. That is the. I'm just writing this as the relative demand for cheese in terms of wine is equal to 6 minus 5 PC by PW. I can write like this. Okay. I can also write like this. 5 PC by PW is equal to 6 minus QCW QWW. So you can also write PC by PW equals to 6 by 5 minus 1 by 5 QCW upon QWW. Like this. Fair enough. Now, you remember that if you're going to specialize, supposedly, if you specialize, this is what my specialization ratio is. That foreign country is going to specialize all in cheese, and home country is going to specialize all in wine. So if foreign country is going to specialize all in cheese, in that case, how much foreign country can produce? All in cheese, 100 by 3. And if home country is going to have all in wine, then how much home country can produce? 50. No? So it is what? 100 by 3 upon 50. So this thing is basically 2 by 3. This thing is basically 2 by 3. So instead of QCW upon QWW, this is, I'll just substitute this. This is what 2 by 3 is. And once I'll calculate this, this will come out to be 16 by 15. And this is this PC by PW, which is equal to 16 by 15. This is lying between the autarky price ratios. You remember that? 1 and 2.5. It is lying between, it is greater than 1, but it is less than 2.5. So this is what my autarky, so this is what my free trade price ratio is. This is what my free trade price ratio. So it is going to be somewhere in between this. This is going to be somewhere in between this. So I'll use maybe this ink just to show that this is what my relative demand curve is. And this is going to be my equilibrium price. This is going to be my equilibrium price like this. You with me? So this is what I wanted to do in this numerical. Thank you, Beta.